Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It is a glorious morning here in Virginia. We're in zone 7A. The sun is shining, it's glorious, the birds are out, it's amazing. So let's talk about weeping Norway spruce. Um, this is a weeping Norway spruce. It's one of my absolute favorite trees. If you're considering growing this in your garden, it's going to be one of your favorite trees as well. It's such a versatile evergreen and brings such great interest to your garden. They're pretty easy to care for as well. If you've ever had any kind of evergreen, you know that they can be a little bit finicky. These are a little bit more easy to take care of. So first off, let's talk about the size that these get. Now I know this one's small. I'm 5'8". This tall is pretty small. It's only in its second season here in our landscape. So it hasn't had a chance to put on a lot of growth, but it has grown quite a bit this season, and I'll show you where those growth points are here in a moment. These can get upwards of 30 to 60 feet if you continue to let them grow up, or you can take out the stake. I do have this one staked up. I do plan for these to get quite tall. Take out the stake, they'll start weeping over, and I'll show you what that looks like here in just a moment. And you can control the size that they grow to. With these, if you have a small place in your landscape that you want a nice evergreen tree, these would be great for that. They can get 15 feet wide as well. These side shoots can grow off and really sprawl out along your landscape. They can even grow out along the ground, which I think is quite beautiful. But if you don't want that, all you have to do is take out the frontward growing part and they will stop growing laterally for you as well. So I mentioned before, they're pretty easy to care for. Apologies if you can hear the road noise. We are right next to our road. Hopefully you can't hear that. But these are pretty easy to grow when it comes to any kind of evergreen tree. Blue spruces for me are my nemesis. I love those trees. They're my favorite, but I cannot grow them here for some reason. I've tried and tried and tried. I've done every trick that I know, and they just don't survive here for me. I think a lot of that is because of the amount of sunshine that they need. We have a lot of trees here in our gardens, so you can tell that it's pretty difficult to get some direct sunshine, and they love that direct sunshine. These can take a little bit of shade. Now, of course, they love the sun. They want the direct sunshine, but they can take the shade. These here, they start in the morning in the shade. They end the day in the sun. So they're getting about 5 to 6 hours of direct sunshine and then dappled sunshine for about 3 other hours. So they can handle the lower sun requirements that most evergreens can't take. Now that said, don't plant it in full shade. You're not going to be successful with it in full shade. That's just not going to work. So don't plant it in full shade. Do give it some sunshine. Um, Watering. These want well-drained soil. We have clay soil here, which is a nightmare when it comes to drainage. They want to hold on to that water. So we amend the soil here with compost. I do add a little bit of cactus soil to that hole as well when I dig out for these plants. Not a lot, about 20% of your soil should be replaced with cactus soil so that you get that good drainage. And then I use a good amount of compost, about 30%, and then my native soil. That's really important to have as well. Now, clay soil gets a bad rap. Yeah, it holds on to water, but it also holds on to nutrients. So if you're fertilizing your plants, it will hold on to that wonderful, wonderful nutrients that the plants need. So it is a good thing. So just amend it properly, and you'll do great with it. Um, don't let it win out over you. You can take care of that pretty easily. We do plant these. These are actually planted in a bit of a raised bed. I have dug down a little bit to amend the soil beneath because the roots are gonna grow out into the ground, and they've been really, really happy and productive here. All of this here, this is a good 5 to 6 inches of new growth. This entire leader is all new growth this year. These started here when we got them last year, and they've grown that much, and they have growth points everywhere on this tree. It is super, super happy. Another thing that it's happy, and that I know that it's happy, is look at this. It has already put on a brand new cone. I love the way these look, the way they drape. Beautiful. And these start out red, so it's a little bit of spring interest for you as well. So super, super great tree. Again, if you want them to grow tall, you do have to keep them staked up. As soon as you take that stake out and let them go into their natural habit, they're going to start weeping over. They're going to grow downward rather than upward, and you're going to get a little bit more compact or shorter tree. And those look beautiful as well. It really depends on your space and what your preference is. Also, you'll know this is the weeping form of one of the most famous trees in the country, and that's the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree. Bucket list for me to go see that. If you've seen that, let me know how magnificent it is in the comments, because I really would like to know. This is the weeping form of the Norway spruce, which is the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree. So fun fact there. So now that we've seen these, again, more upright, a little bit shorter, let's take a look at one that's a little bit more mature and actually in its weeping form. Okay, so here we are on the other side of our house. This is our front yard as opposed to the backyard. This is a tree that we've had for quite some time. I think it's in its sixth or seventh season. We've had it for quite a while. It was this height when we bought it because the leader had already started to grow down. I loved the look of it. I love the curtain and the drape of this tree. It's so full on the inside, and it is so happy. You can tell, look here, from here to here, all of these are new growth this season alone, and this tree is just super, super happy here. We don't fuss with it a lot. But what I was talking about before, if you let the leader grow downward, this is what you're going to end up with. This is the leader here. You can see it's actually growing down on the ground, and it's continuing to grow down. Now, sometimes these will start to grow back up, and you can get a second upward growth from it, or they'll start to grow sideways. That's fine too if you want that. If you don't, cut out the top of the leader, and you'll be fine. It'll start to spread out a little bit more and thicken up. How I take care of these, one, the well-drained soil is super important. I do fertilize these trees once per year. So in the springtime, I give them a good dose of either evergreen tone. If I can't find that, holly tone is great as well. They like a little bit more acidic soil. Holly tone is great for that. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's been helpful for you. I hope you put one of these in your landscape because they are fantastic, phenomenal trees. So let me know in the comments below if you have one of these and how much you love it, because I know you do as much as I do. Otherwise, thanks for joining us today. I hope you have a great day. See you next time.